Good evening, I'm Lee Anderson. Warming shelters in Central Oregon will face a tough challenge this winter, helping out the homeless population while keeping their guests and staff safe from COVID-19. Max Goldwasser joins us with the details. Max, what's the plan?
Well, Lee, there's been discussion for months on the best way to approach this warming shelter season, and nothing is set in stone at the moment, but several ideas are on the table.
The ultimate goal is to keep people from freezing to death.
Molly Heiss with Neighbor Impact putting it simply. The pandemic, though, presenting brand new challenges, making that goal more difficult to attain.
It is going to look a little different this year, but we're hoping that it's still an opportunity to help people feel warm and accepted and part of the community.
Heiss tells me Neighbor Impact is working with Central Oregon warming shelters to come up with the best plan of action. Ideally, each guest would have their own room, kind of like a motel. But Heiss says it would cost more than $4 million to make that happen, and Neighbor Impact only has $700,000 to work with. So the most realistic option is sticking with communal living spaces, but with several changes in place. The CDC has a few requirements for homeless service providers. Add barriers for check-in staff members when they're screening guests, add 6 feet of space between beds, and have guests wear a mask when they are not in the shared sleeping area. But Heiss says some shelters might take it one step further by making everyone wear a mask at all times.
I don't know what that looks like when somebody's trying to sleep. That wouldn't be my favorite thing, and I doubt that it would be somebody else's favorite thing. But we can't have an outbreak. We have to do what we can to mitigate an outbreak.
In order to create all that space for social distancing, these shelters will have to limit how many people they can help. In March, when the pandemic hit, Heiss says many of them cut capacity by 50%, and she expects that number will be similar this season.
Because we have to have that extra space. It's the most inexpensive way to provide warming shelter.
Heiss says many Central Oregon shelters are still scrambling to solidify options for the upcoming season. Location and staffing issues are a common concern, but they hope to figure it out soon, as the goal is to have their doors open by mid-November. Again, inadequate staffing, that's one of the main problems. And Heiss says these shelters rely heavily on volunteers, but those volunteers are typically older and could be considered higher risk for the virus. Lee, back to you.